Well, as you can see, my friends, that was not a school of guppies that you were seeing there. No, sir, that's a classroom of some of America's youngest athletes. Now, they are here because a Mrs. Dwight Hill of Seattle, Washington, asked for it. An interesting letter that said, "Dear Mr. Baker, I read in a newspaper article recently that a woman in Van Nuys, California, has taught infants how to swim. Inasmuch as I have a youngster myself, I would like you to have her on your show and explain how this can be done. Thank you, Mrs. Dwight Hill." Well, Mrs. Hill, I tell you, it's a distinct pleasure indeed to present to you the famous lady about which you speak. She's a graduate and former instructor at Sweeten's Royal Academy and world-renowned authority on child development and health. I take pleasure in having you meet Miss Lisa Bengtson.
Thank you, Art. We are all very glad to be here.
Oh, and I tell you what, the sweetest bunch of water sprites I ever saw. These are some of your students.
Yes, they are some of my smallest ones. They are all 2 and 3 years old.
Now, as a father and as speaking for mothers, this is one question they would all ask. How do you get them to get rid of that fear at first of jumping in?
Well, it is a little hard to explain. So why don't I show you and Mrs. Hill and our audience a beginner's lesson?
Wonderful.
Now, this is little Kimmy Lerner. She was 2 years old last summer. I don't like to start them before 2 because I think that is too young. So Kimmy here is going to have a visit with Grandma Water. Take a breath, Kimmy. We are entering Grandma Water's house. Kick, 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 Kimmy. Kick hard, sweetheart. That's a good girl. Now, a big breath, sweetie, and hook your thumbs and kick. Hook your thumbs, Kimmy. Kick hard. That's a girl. Good girl. Now we sit on my leg here. Swing your arms. Stick your heady down. Swing high. Way up to the sky, Kimmy. That's a girl. Now I'll hold your legs, Kimmy, and you swing your own arms. Hook your legs. Swing your arms, Kimmy. Touch the sky, sweetheart. Way up high. That's the girl. Now we kick and swing. Here we go. Kick and swing. Kick and swing. Get your arms up. Get him up, Kimmy. Get him up. Get him up. Good girl. And here goes the airplane. Brrr, zoom, and you're on your own. That's the girl, Kimmy. Now for the backstroke. Dingly-dangly. Dingly-dangly. And go to sleep, Kimmy. Go to sleep. Legs out. Go to sleep. Now for a walk with Grandma Water. Hat and boat. Good girl, Kimmy. Now, let's see if you can pick up. And we'll throw it down on the bottom, and you'll pick it up. Now, it's right by my foot. Take a breath. And here it is. Thank you, Grandma Water. I have had a wonderful time. Here we go, Kimmy, dear.
That was great. That was wonderful, Lisa. I want to tell you that makes not only for beginners, that makes swimming easy for grown-ups, too. Now, how about the next stages of learning,
Well, for the intermediates and the advanced groups, I would like to take you all for a visit to my school in Sherman Oaks.
Wonderful.
And here we are. After having been with in the water, like I was with Kimmy, I get out and teach them from the side. This stick serves the purpose of keeping their buoyant little bodies underwater. Chuck Jackson, too, is 6 feet down, and you can see he's perfectly comfortable. Stephen Meunier is 3. He also is having a good time down with Grandma Water. The children also pick up weights on 8.5 feet depth. Here, Kent and Louise Moss, 3-year-old twins, get ready for a deep dive. They pick up 3 pounds each. By the time they are 4 years old, they will be picking up 4 pounds, and up to 8 pounds. And from down below the surface, we get up on the 1-meter springboard. At first, I help the children off. I flip them in jackknives, full gainers, and front flips. Then I get off the springboard, and they are on their own. The stick serves the purpose of getting them up in the air. And Then we come to the intermediates. Here, Kent's Moss 3 is in a sinking position. He plans a swan dive. J. Russell goes into a jackknife. And Louise Moss, 3 years old, does a front flip. Susan Ogden takes her sweet time in preparing a back flip. Clark Russell executes a pretty good somersault, handstand somersault. Now Walter Ogden, 7, shows more advanced diving. Tina Robertson does a jackknife. And Tommy Solomon, 6 years old, does a back flip. Scotty Flo finishes with a running front flip. Then we again go down below the surface. When the children start at 2 years of age, they are capable of swimming 40 feet by the time they are 3 years old. By the time they are 4 and 5, they swim 60 feet underwater, and when they are 6, they swim 80 feet with ease. You can see how comfortable they are down here with Grandma Water. There is no strain at all. They start high diving at 3, and here Walter Ogden is now a seasoned high diver. He does 1.5 from the 10-foot board at Chapman Park Hotel. Donna Russell does a jackknife, and Tommy Solomon finishes. He's 6 years old, and he does a handstand dive. That is the last splash from my school.
I want to tell you, that was wonderful, Lisa. Believe me, I wish I were an infant myself, but that's too far back. I can see now why your fame has spread all over the world as a teacher of swimming and of physical exercise for youngsters.
Well, I would like to point out, Art, that it isn't only a question of swimming. It goes much farther than that. Swimming is just the means through which I teach the children character development. I think, Art, if we have better children, we will have better adults.
That's a very sound theory indeed. They tell me that in your mind, Lisa, you have a dream there of taking young athletes, something like this, to the famous Olympics of '52 in Helsinki.
Yes, indeed, I do. I'm now training a group in gymnastics and swimming for that purpose. And I feel in my heart that I would like to show that America, through her youth, is thinking of tomorrow.
Thinking of tomorrow. Would that be a great thing for some group to sponsor that dream of yours? I hope so, indeed. We thank you so much, indeed, for this thrilling moment that you've given us in your school here, and your wonderful little children. They're great. I tell you, when I was thinking of here was to thank, I can't thank enough, Mrs. Dwight Hill of Seattle, Washington, because through you, Mrs. Hill, we have all been inspired and thrilled because you asked for it.